All right, hi everybody. This is Rich Lanieski here at Living Well for Life Centers. It is a Wednesday morning, and today we're going to be talking about foam rolling, or what we like to call the poor man's massage. Now, every client that comes in here, no matter whether they're young, old, stay-at-home mom, they all have to do foam rolling before they start their exercises. It's a great way for myofascial release to loosen up the muscles. It prevents injury, it creates increased blood flow, and it decreases your recovery time from exercises. So what is foam rolling? Basically, what it is, it's like taking a piece of dough and taking a hand roller and rolling it out. That's what you're doing. You're flattening out the muscles. You're releasing the muscle fibers and getting them loose and ready for exercise. They're much better to do than static stretching, which really should be done after a workout anyways. But you can do this before exercise. You can do it after exercise. A lot of my clients, I have them have one. They have one at home, and they do these at home when they come home from a hard day's work or being at the office all day. Now we have three kind of foam rollers we use around here. The first one we have is this one right here. This is a much lighter one. It has a lot more give to it. So this is great for beginners or people who are still really tight and are just starting out, which is fantastic. After that, we move them on to this one, which is the trigger point. This is the best one that we have. This is the one I like. This is the one that most of our clients do. It digs in a little deeper. It gets a little more release on the muscle, especially if you're a little on the tighter side. It's just fantastic. Now, if you're really tight and you're really in the advanced stages, all you got to do is go to Lowe's and get about a $3 piece of PVC pipe and use this. Now, I'm not going to lie to you, this does hurt like hell, and this is not for a beginner type person, but if you really want to dig in there, this is the way to do it. Now, how long do we do the foam rolling for? Well, it depends. We either do 30 seconds per position or we do a minute, depending on how tight you feel. And basically that's up to you. If you're rolling on a certain area, say your calves, and your calves don't feel so tight, roll on it for 30 seconds and move on to the next thing. If it feels real tight or you're real tense, do the whole minute. Or sometimes I'll have people roll on a certain area for 2 minutes to get that myofascial release. So however long it takes is kind of up to you. So what we're going to do today is I'm going to demonstrate 7 of our most common foam rolls that we do. Now we do a lot more of these, but these are the 7 most basic ones that everybody does whether they're beginner or advanced, no matter what. So I'm going to bring in Dr. Lanieski, who is our doctor here, and he's going to help demonstrate this stuff with us. So come on down. We're going to start at the bottom. We're going to work our way up the body. So we're going to start with our calves. So we're going to get in position. We're going to sit down, feet are on top. Hands behind you, you're going to lift your butt in the air and you're going to roll over your calf muscles, okay? And we're going to do this for 30 seconds. Now, if you're, another great thing to do is if you want to bring your toes in, point your toes in a little bit and roll, you're going to feel it work a different area of the calf. Same thing if you bring your toes out. We bring them out, we roll, we feel a different area of our calves. So we're going to keep rolling, we're going to keep loosening it up, and again, you'll notice in the beginning it'll feel really tight, but the more you roll, the looser and looser it's going to get until you're ready to move on to the next phase. All right, so when we're done with our calves, we're going to now go to our hamstrings, which is our back of our legs. We're going to split it up into 2 sections. We're going to do the lower and the upper. The lower consists of the bottom part of the hamstring and directly under the knee. So again, same position, hands behind you, feet up. We're going to roll on the back of our hamstrings. Now, usually a lot of people, a lot of clients come in, have very tight hamstring and lower back. So a lot of times we spend more time on our hamstrings than we do some of the other areas that we work on. So we're going to roll that part of the hamstring out, and again, it's 30 seconds if it's feeling pretty loose. It's 60 seconds or 2 minutes if we're feeling really tight back there. All right? So once we're finished with that, we're going to move now to our upper part of our hamstring. So we're going to go from right underneath our butt to about midway down the hamstring. Again, same position. Again, hands behind you, feet straight. We're going to roll all the way from your butt all the way halfway down our leg, okay? That way we get the top part of the hamstring and the bottom. It's much better than rolling one big long roll, because sometimes you miss the top half and you miss the bottom half. Okay, so we're done with that. Now we're gonna do our glute muscles, our butt muscles. Now we have to do these one at a time. So basically I want you to sit on it. You're gonna lean to one side. One foot is firmly on the ground. This one's firmly on the ground like that. This is what's gonna help you drive back and forth, one hand behind you, and you're gonna roll over your glute muscles. Now you're only gonna roll a couple of inches, okay? But I want you to put all your weight on there. I want that foam roller to really dig into those glutes. The glutes are a very thick and a very heavy muscle, and we really need to really put a lot of pressure on there to get in there and really loosen up all those muscles deep in your glutes. So when we're done with one side, we're gonna switch and we're gonna move over to the other side. 1 foot back here like that, 1 foot elevated, 1 hand back, and we're gonna roll over to our other part of our butt, basically. So we're gonna keep going. Now this is usually an area that is very tight, so I make almost everybody do at least a full minute on their glutes before they start any kind of training. So once we're done with that, we've now done we've done our calves, we've done our hamstrings, we've done our glutes. Let's move on up. Now the lower back. Another big area with clients that is very tight is our lower back. So basically we're gonna kind of almost sit on this. We're gonna have our feet flat on the ground. We're gonna put both hands back, and we're gonna slowly roll about 3 or 4 inches up on the back and right to the top of the glute muscles. I wanna keep rolling. Make sure you put pressure on there. Don't let your arms take all the weight off it. We wanna be able to dig in there. Now, beginners, a lot of times you'll notice that your arms kind of get tired from doing this, and that's no big deal. You'll get stronger and it won't be won't be a big problem. So we're doing our lower back now. We're getting it nice and loose. We're getting it ready for exercise, ready to be pushed. After that, we're gonna switch now to our upper back. Now we wanna start just a little bit past our mid back, okay? And basically what we wanna do here, we do not need our hands on the ground this time, so we can put them either on our chest, or we can put them behind our head, our feet flat, and we're gonna roll over our shoulder blades, basically. You're gonna notice that you're gonna find a lot of little lumps and bumps all over that upper back, and that's because a lot of tightness, a lot of stiffness, especially if you're working at a desk all day, you're very tight up there. So we're gonna roll up and down our lower back. This usually feels good with most clients, and they like this one, so they'll tend to stay here more even if they're not feeling that tight. So it's fantastic to do, and really loosens up that back and gets us ready for exercise. Okay, so when we're done with that, it's time to flip over. Okay, so we're gonna do our quads now. We're gonna do it in 2 phases, just like we did the hamstrings. So we're gonna start in the lower part, just above the kneecap. We're gonna be on our forearms. It's much easier on our forearms, so we'll do that. Our feet are elevated. We start just above our kneecaps. Do not roll over your knees. Bad idea. It will hurt really bad. We're gonna roll halfway up our quad, and we're gonna roll back down to the original start position. Okay. This one, you'll notice, this one hurts most people when they start a lot. Their lower quads are very tight, which pulls on the kneecaps and can cause a lot of knee problems. So this is an area we really work on. And what our clients notice is the more they do this every day, all of a sudden, it doesn't hurt as much. It hurts less, and they get looser and looser and looser. But regardless of whether they're feeling loose or not, they have to foam roll every workout. Again, this is another one where we can point our toes inward, and we can roll. And we can also point our toes outward, and we can roll. And you're gonna feel it in certain areas. Now, it's up to you. If you're pointing your toes inward and you're feeling a lot of tightness in that area, well, stay there. Work that area a little bit, loosen it up. And say maybe the toes pointed inward isn't so bad, we can just do that for 30 seconds and move on. So the last one we're gonna do now is our upper quad. So again, right below our crotch region, we're gonna start right there, and we're gonna roll halfway down our quad and back up. Okay, this one usually doesn't hurt as bad, but this helps get those quads, those big, huge, thick quad muscles, all loose and ready for exercise. And again, you can do the same thing that I mentioned before. We can point our toes out, we can point our toes in, we can look and try to spot some tight areas that we need to work on. Okay, so we'll roll that for 30 seconds or a minute, depending on how tight it is. All right, now once we're done with that, those are the basic 7 exercises that we do around here. We do a bunch more, but I'm not giving away all our secrets. But it's a great way to really loosen yourself up. It is what they call a poor man's massage. You know, you can go and spend $80 for a massage therapist, or you can get yourself one of these things, and it's fantastic to do at home after, like I said, a long day at the office, or working all day, or on your feet all day. During a commercial break of your favorite show, get on the floor and do a little foam rolling. It tremendously increases blood flow. It helps against injury. It keeps you nice and loose, and it's a fantastic way to get warmed up before any exercise. So that's it for today. I hope you learned a little something, and we will see you next time. So until then, so long.